Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shelly, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the books I'm planning on reading in July. I'm going to have probably a bit of a lengthy introduction to July, and then we'll get into what I'm actually reading. I'll do that when we get into the meat of the video. So just know that this is going to be a bit chatty, but that's what I think many of you have come to expect on my channel. So anyways, if you're new here, then hi, welcome. I am a woman obsessed with reading and obsessed with talking about her reading. And today I'm going to be going through, what I want and plan on reading in the following month. If this is your kind of video, if you like this kind of thing and you see yourself wanting to stick around, then I would encourage you to subscribe. And now let's just go ahead and get into the meat of this video. So I'm sitting down with you all a touch early, for me at least. Right now it is June 23rd, and maybe I'll make this like the next video that goes up on my channel. And what's interesting is I don't have big plans for July, and I don't even want to make big plans for July. So and there's a couple of reasons. One of which is my parents. My parents are coming to visit, so we have my mom, mother and father time, grandma and grandpa time for my kids. And that is going to be exciting. And I know that that is going to cut into my reading, and joyfully so, joyfully so. I'm so excited that they're coming. I'm so excited that they're going to be here and visiting. It'll be a wonderful change up for our summer schedule, which has been the weather has been really rainy and really hot and kind of gross. I don't know how else to say it. It's just been it's been not my favorite, okay? It's been not my favorite. So that has made me feel hesitant to make a ton of plans, like just a ton of plans in general. Also, I am doing some structure reading, some reading that I have to do because I have obligations. And I want to balance that out with some mood reading. So yeah. So that's kind of the tea. I guess that was shorter than I thought. But let's jump into my structure reading. I have my books just sitting here on my lap. So I signed up to be a judge for the Booktube Prize. If you don't know what the Booktube Prize is, or you want a lovely reminder, it is a community-run literary prize that asks judges, that is being judged by those who are in the bookish community, the online bookish community. So, for example, I'm a judge for the nonfiction round. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job explaining what this is. I'm going to leave some information linked down below in case you're like, this sounds really interesting that I want to get involved. You saying this to yourself because I am already involved. Then follow the links. It is basically a prize judged by bookish online community members. And so I signed up to judge for June and July. And so I have read 3 books. I can't talk about my thoughts or feelings about them just yet. And so I have 3 books to go. One of which is Eating to Extinction. And this is by Dan Saladino. Actually, my sweet friend Sandy at the channel Miss Reads a Lot, she read this. She read this book, this exact book. For the Booktube Prize a few months ago, and she kindly mailed me her copy, which I'm so grateful. And so this was a gift from her, so thank you, Sandy. I haven't read this yet, so I imagine I'll get to this. I mean, I have to get to it in July, so this is on my list. One that I may have already read by the end of June, or the beginning of July, is Half American. This is, I'm like trying to get it so the glare isn't, this is from my library. This is by Matthew F. Delmont. I think I might have read this by the time you're all seeing this, because unlike some of my other books, this is actually quite short. It doesn't seem like it, but there are generous margins, and about the last 100 pages, the last 100 pages of this are notes on, you know, references and further reading and tra-la that we get from nonfiction these days. And so I have a feeling that I might pick this up soon and just power through it and finish it before July hits. But if not, then I have to read this in July. And then the last book, which I will probably listen to, well, I don't know, we'll see. You never know with these things. But it is My Fourth Time We Drowned, and I believe it's by Sally Hayden. I'm gonna leave the book title up here. And it is all about the immigration process. One second, my nose is all of a sudden running. What in the world? It is not about the immigration process. It is about immigrants taking the deadliest route to, like the deadliest immigration route towards hope, towards freedom. And I think she dives into that, the author dives into that process and what that journey is like for a lot of folks that are fleeing their home country and looking and seeking refuge in a new country. So that is the last book that I definitely have to finish by the end of July. And then after that, I'm mood reading. I'm like, gosh, this is like the opposite of a juicy video. This is a kind of a flimsy video. But you know, as we all are curious about, you know, we're curious about each other's reading, and so I wanted to kind of let you know what's on my docket. So the next thing that's going on in July is Jane Austen July, and this year I've wanted, and I've slotted myself to read Emma by Jane Austen. This is one of her big six, one of the six full-length novels that Jane Austen wrote in her lifetime, and I haven't read it yet. I haven't read this or Sense and Sensibility, and I feel like there's one more that I haven't read, but I can't think of it right now. But anyways, so Emma might be my choice for this, Emma might be my choice for Jane Austen July. And I'm going to leave all of the information about Jane Austen July linked down below. It is a wonderful, long-standing event here on Booktube that encourages us to read Jane Austen. Not just read Jane Austen, but read about Jane Austen, read contemporaries of Jane Austen, watch Jane Austen movies, and it is a Jane Austen feast, okay? It is a Jane Austen feast. And so I'm, you know, like I like myself some Jane Austen. I really, really do. And I'm just not sometimes I dive in and I'm like, I'm gonna do Jane Austen proud this year, and I make all these plans and follow through with about half of them. And this year I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I'm gonna pick up one Jane Austen book, maybe, and this will be it. Or I might just reread Pride and Prejudice, because I just love Pride and Prejudice so much. And it's such a good book. It's such a good book. And so, you know, it's between this or Pride and Prejudice, or maybe both, you know, because I'm going to be mood reading this year or this month, after I get all of the books that I am slotted to read out of the way, or, you know, there might be mood reading in between. I don't know. But yeah, this might be on the docket. I'm going to scooch over to give the next book at least a little bit of space right here. So I started the Patrick Melrose series by Edward St. Auburn, I think. I don't know. But I started the Patrick Melrose series. I'm currently reading the second one in the series. They're very short, almost like day in a life of a very messed up individual, Patrick Melrose. And the first book is about his, sort of the outline of his childhood. But again, you're just getting like this sliver, this tiny little sliver of, and it's day in a life, but harrowing, okay? Like it is not a normal day in a life. It is the day in a life of somebody who is really messed up. And so, oh, one second, my nose is running. I'm sneezing. We're just kind of all over the place in this video. I hope I'm not getting sick. I'm not gonna sabotage myself, but I really hope I'm not getting sick. So I might read another book in the Patrick Melrose series. I would be on book 3. I'm really enjoying it. It's, again, the concept, I think, for the series, having read the first book and then part of the second book, is that you're getting this glimpse into the life of an individual who is really, really damaged he is really messed up. And it's these very short books, like 150, 130, 180 pages. The writing is beautiful. And we're following this, at this point, this young man in his 20s, at least in the second book. And his life is truly a mess. And so, so then I would imagine, like, with the third book, we're getting Patrick Melrose at a different age, probably a little bit older, and going through his day. And through his day, you learn, and it reveals quite a bit about who he is and what he's been through. So I would imagine that I might be picking up another one of those books. My friend Anita and I'm reading the Patrick Melrose books with Fraser Simons at the channel Springboard. That my best bud here on Booktube and in life. And so we've been reading them together and enjoying the discussion that those books have brought about. So another bookish person that I read with is Anita. She is a community member, my friend, and we are tentatively reading The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. She threw this out as possibly a summer read that we might want to get through quite quickly, even though it's quite the chunkster. I have not read a Philippa Gregory book, but I'm not against it. I own this book. So this is a 660 page book. I feel like I could definitely dive into the drama of the Tudors with a little spice, I've heard. So, I would be all about that. But yeah, so we've talked about this as our tentative read, but often what happens is, her or I will bring up a book that we're very excited about, and we just dive right into whatever we're most excited about. So right now, it's The Other Boleyn Girl. But in 10 days, it might be something totally different. So, keep an eye on this channel for what I actually pick up with Anita. But yeah, tentatively, it's The Other Boleyn Girl right now. But again, she might get kicked out for someone else. Just like Anne Boleyn kicked out for someone else. Poor Anne. And as of right now, that is it. I feel like this is, again, the opposite of a juicy TBR. I'm leaving things quite open because I really do want some space to mood read. My mood is taking me to weird, strange, fantastical places. And I'm glad about that. And lately I've been craving a bit of like an unstructured schedule. And I would imagine that it has something to do with the fact that I signed up for the Booktube Prize and I do have required reads from them, which I am so happy to do. I'm so happy with my group and what I've had the opportunity to read thus far. But I also know that there is this thing that I've committed to that I will see through because I'm committed to it, and just knowing that that's out there, So to counterbalance that commitment, I think there's like, don't commit to anything, read what you want, pick up whatever you want, mode going on in my life. So tell me what you're reading. Tell me all of your feelings as I've just, dove, as I've just went through my own feelings right now. I would really appreciate to hear yours. Your feelings about your upcoming reading, your summer schedule, and what that might entail, what you think you might be reading, and why. I would appreciate all of that. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see